Now at 9, what experts say you should include in a bug-out bag before severe weather strikes. Plus, the Joplin Outlaws announce they're changing leagues. And progress is made on plans to bring a new entertainment center to Joplin.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
This is KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. I'm Tanya Bach. We are continuing to track severe weather threats. We go straight to Chief Meteorologist Doug Hetty, who joins us now with a first look at the forecast.
Well, of course, we've been tracking showers and thunderstorms, some severe weather throughout the evening hours. We don't have any warnings at this time. We do have some flash flood issues due to some very heavy amounts of rain, and we still have some really strong storms rolling through. Look at these guys pop up throughout the evening hours. We had a tornado warning in Montgomery County. We had numerous severe thunderstorm warnings and very heavy amounts of rain, which is spring. We kind of need it, but look at these storms still lining up along the Kansas-Oklahoma state line, all the way through Cherokee County, through Jasper County, very strong cell on the north side of Joplin, and then all the way to just north of Springfield. So you can see just north of Mount Vernon, back through Carthage, Oronogo, Webb City, Joplin. Another pretty good line just north of Columbus, kind of going back toward Oswego, and then Coffeyville, Independence, all getting showers and thunderstorms. This is going to continue the next few hours, but severe threat is going to keep dropping over the next couple hours, but showers and thunderstorms stick around as we go through the overnight hours tonight and even into your Friday. So we're going to break all that down for you here in just a bit.
Plans for a new theater complex in Joplin are progressing. The city says applications for a $12 million building permit have been filed to construct the B&B Theater's luxury entertainment center in the 32nd Street Place development. Officials say the center will include 8 screens, heated reclining seats, and a full bar and food menu. It'll be part of a larger complex that'll include a Menards home improvement store and a 250-unit apartment complex. Well, KOAM Sports Director John Dales is in studio with some big news about the Joplin Outlaws.
Thanks, Tanya. This morning, the Joplin Outlaws announced they have both new ownership and a new league. Now, Mark Raines had been the general manager of the Outlaws since their founding. He says health issues prompted him to sell the team. And former Pitt State football player Nick Weissenborn is Joplin's new GM. The team leaves the Mink League for the newly formed Mid-American League. Now we'll have more updates on this and what it means for fans later in sports.
Thanks, John. The Ronald McDonald House Charities of the 4 states has a new executive director. Lori Jones is taking over the position. She's previously served at nonprofits, including the Children's Center of Southwest Missouri.
So I've got a lot of learning to do, and I've got a lot of listening to do. So while I can see some things that I'm looking forward to changing, I'm not in a big hurry to do any of that. So this ship has been sailing in a really good position for many, many years. And so I really want to build some strong relationships with the volunteers in the community and then see where we can go. I do have some grant writing experience, so I'm hopeful that I might be able to look for some opportunities to inject some more financial support.
Ronald McDonald House Charities has been helping families in the 4 states since 1996. It is Thank a Farmer Day, so the Missouri Farm Bureau and local FFA chapters came together to support the Ronald McDonald House. Donors provided food, pantry items, and grocery gift cards to the charity. Missouri Farm Bureau started a Thank a Farmer Week to celebrate the abundance of food and other products produced by farmers in the Show Me State and nationwide.
They had fun shopping, and I think they enjoyed being able to take part in something like this and knowing that it's going to a good cause and to people in the community.
Searching for more ways that we can do it, and we've done some, and we just want to do more each and every year. And this is just a great way that we're able to give back, that we are able to connect with our community.
This is the 26th year of Thank a Farmer Day. Well, Dr. Seuss's book, If I Ran the Zoo, was the inspiration for Dickerson Park Zoo making a trip to White Rock Elementary in McDonald County. KOAM's Anthony Saviello has more.
A cuddly chinchilla, a scaly snake, and a majestic hawk are just a few of the animals that students at White Rock Elementary came face to face with.
Well, this morning I had some students who were very excited because they were hoping that they would bring an elephant with them today.
The purpose of these animals? to inspire curiosity and learning.
Big push that we've made since we started Dr. Seuss Week is to make sure that kids get excited about reading. And so we thought, what better way for them to get excited about If I Ran the Zoo if we brought the zoo to them.
Nancy Weiser is the docent in charge of educating students about these animals. As a former teacher, she understands why these animals grab so much attention.
But I would always invite the zoo to come into my classrooms and quickly noticed how much that connected with children and how I could teach a variety of concepts and skills through that avenue. And it was highly motivating. Kids really love to learn and see animals.
Reactions from students come in a variety of different faces.
I am so entertained by that. And then the curiosity. Even the little guys who will raise their hand and have a story or they forgot, you know that they've been just totally wrapped up the entire time.
Whether it's an animal covered in fur, feathers, or scales, these students just can't take their eyes off what's in front of them. Reporting in McDonald County, Anthony Saviello, KOAM News.
Well, the animals were brought as part of the school's Read Around America Week. Students will continue reading festivities tomorrow in the theme of a birthday party. Coming up, how a henna artist in Kansas City is empowering women with cancer and alopecia. A henna artist in Kansas is using her gift to bring joy and comfort to women fighting cancer or alopecia who lose their hair. Her henna crowns, offered free, are an alternative to wigs. Henna, a traditional Indian form of body art, also helps to relax the body and nerves. Marlon Martinez reports.
Behind every design, there's a story.
I'm a very quiet person. People would, if you ask anyone, they'll say she's so quiet.
But Bertha Thomas is much more. She's a
mother, a wife, and a nurse
who has been battling alopecia, a disease that causes hair loss.
It took me a minute to accept it. I wore wigs for a while, but you kind of get tired of that.
To help those who have lost their hair due to cancer or alopecia, Nita Said Sardu is using her talent as a henna artist to help women regain their confidence.
I always was thinking about how to spread the beautiful message that henna has and how to spread its beauty around the city.
Henna art is a traditional Indian method often used to bring joy, but also empowerment.
Women get this to feel more confident about themselves. It helps them gain a new identity.
And it's also a reminder that there is more to it than the outer beauty.
She made me come out of myself and just help me realize who Bertha is.
Well, Doug is next with a complete look at the forecast. And later it's time for another Thunder Thursday. We'll see how the team aims to stay in first place in the Western Conference.
Well, of course, it's turned out to be a very active thunderstorm day. We had thunderstorms through the morning, and then severe weather has been popping up throughout the evening hours. It is March now, it's Severe Weather Awareness Week, and we're in severe weather season. So this was event number 1. We usually average 8 to 10 events. And when I say an event, that means that we have a day that we have severe thunderstorm or tornado warnings across the region. No severe thunderstorm warnings right now. We do have flash flood warning, Jasper, parts of Barton, Dade, Cedar County, due to very heavy amounts of rain. These thunderstorms have been kind of working through the exact same area. We don't right now, again, have anything severe, but we do have some very strong storms, so a very loud evening at this point in time. Heaviest storms really right along the Kansas-Oklahoma state line into southwestern Missouri along and north of the I-44 corridor, and then kind of curl up towards Springfield. So let's zoom in, take a little bit of a tour. Strongest storms just north of Mount Vernon. Let's track into Jasper County. So just north of Carthage, here's I-49, and then back through Oronogo, Webb City, into Carl Junction, and then over just south of Pittsburgh, another pretty strong cell just to the northwest of Columbus. We can track a little bit farther toward the west. Here's Oswego all the way back through Lebec County into Montgomery County, Coffeyville, getting some pretty good showers and thunderstorms. Now, along and south of I-44, you haven't seen much. You will get some rain, showers and thunderstorms later on tonight. Look at these rainfall amounts. This does include this morning, but all this green is at least an inch of rain. Now, where you see the yellows, we're talking upwards of 3, 4, 5, 6 inches, which is why we have the flash flood warning in our eastern counties. Here's the front. You can see the wind kink line. It's actually right back through southeastern Kansas, and that's why those storms are in that exact spot. They're firing up right along the front. Showers and thunderstorms continue. We're going to stop at 1 a.m. I think our severe threat's gone at this point in time, but we are still going to have some strong thunderstorms working through, especially in our southern counties, the areas that haven't picked up any rain. Rain starts to track out, so here's Friday morning, and then on Friday, we're just talking showers, a little bit of thunder, but nothing too strong or severe. Let's go into the afternoon. Rain picking up, especially in our southern counties as we track into Friday evening, and then all of this is gone by the time we get into Saturday morning. All these showers and thunderstorms will be out of the region. Additional rainfall amounts from this point on. A lot of areas are still going to pick up a quarter, half an inch, maybe upwards to an inch in some of those stronger storms. You can see this storm system. It tracks all the way down into parts of Oklahoma. Severe weather will press south and east tomorrow. Here's the upper level low right across parts of New Mexico, and behind it, we are going to get much cooler temperatures working in. Look at this. Saturday, highs only right around 50 degrees. And then as we go into Sunday, we warm back up near 60 for a high. Here's your day planner for your Friday. On and off showers, high temp, 58. As we get into the weekend, only 52 Saturday. Don't forget the clocks, they move forward 1 hour Saturday night, back to 62 Sunday, near 70 by Tuesday. Tanya?
Thanks, Doug. It is Severe Weather Preparedness Week. Authorities take this time to highlight the importance of having a basic disaster supply kit ready in case of severe weather. KOAM's Fernanda Silva has more.
I had kind of always shied away from the idea of being a quote-unquote prepper, and that ended that.
That Webb City resident Rio Michelle Parker is referring to is the Joplin tornado in 2011. While she doesn't consider herself a prepper, she's ready in case of severe weather.
Whenever you have kids or grandchildren like I do, you want to be able to even be the go-to.
Every person in her family has a bug out bag, labeled and organized.
You know, my son has autism, and his situation, you just realize really early on with anyone, whenever you're caring for anyone with special needs, they're probably not going to be able to put together the things that they may need in that situation.
To come up with the items she added to their bags, she followed the Federal Emergency Management Agency recommendations. According to the Dunwich Fire Department, water and non-perishable food, a flashlight, batteries, and a first aid kit are essential. Another recommendation is having a weather radio like this one, especially in case you lose internet connection.
They can tell you when the storm is over. It'll tell you where it's at. Make sure you have enough batteries to where you don't run out of battery.
Whistle to signal for help, medications, and supplies for your pets are also essential items to keep handy.
At least have a day supply, just in case you get trapped somewhere, and just be ready for the worst and hope for the best.
Another thing to keep in mind is have a plan of action.
If they set the sirens off, let's take our shelter.
And support those who might need help.
We need to focus on the members of our family that, you know, aren't going to have that list to go from, that may not know what to do instantaneously.
Fernanda Silva, KOAM News.
Well, cash, including change, could also be important to have in your bug-out bag. Well, coming up, the stress of paying Uncle Sam.
There's no crying in taxes, but according to a recent survey, there is among younger Americans. I'm Brian Yennis in New York. The details coming up.
Franklin Technology Center hosted its annual career fair today at the Joplin High School. The fair gave students a chance to learn more about careers and higher education opportunities. More than 70 representatives from colleges, universities, career and technical schools, branches of military, local businesses, and industries signed up to participate.
The career fair is for our students to broaden their horizons and see what local industry is available to them. Also, career and technical schools, post-secondary education available to them, and programs that they can further their education in if they would like to as well.
About 1,600 students at Franklin Tech and Joplin High School attended the fair. We are in the heart of tax season, and while most Americans are filling out their taxes, the task is a major cause of stress for a lot of filers. Fox News national correspondent Brian Linus explains.
Few people enjoy doing their taxes, but for younger Americans, it's stressful enough to make them cry or possibly even send them to a therapist.
For me, it's stressful because I don't really know what I'm doing yet.
There are tiers every year.
A recent Cash App survey revealing 54% of Gen Z and 38% of millennials report the stress of filing taxes has either brought them to tears in the past or they expect it will this year. Furthermore, 1 in 4 Gen Zers responding they'll need help from a therapist to recover from the experience.
I'm not surprised that filing taxes is overwhelming and a cause of stress for Gen Z and sort of younger millennials.
Brett Weiss, head of financial wellness at Facet, saying money is the #1 cause of stress across all generations, assuring people filing taxes doesn't have to cause anxiety, chalking the roadblocks up to lack of tax education in schools and for younger generations, an increase in less traditional sources of income.
Gen Z and millennials too, they're very entrepreneurial. They might own businesses. They might be creators or influencers, and they have all these different various forms of income, not to mention investing in maybe crypto or stocks. All of these different income sources create complexity, and that can absolutely lead to confusion and ultimately stress when it comes to filing your taxes.
The survey also revealing 62% of first-time filers are not sure where to get their W-2s or 1099s. Weiss saying the best place to start is to simply get everything organized. That includes listing all the ways you make money, all the things you own, and all your debts. Then find the appropriate tax forms.
It's important to understand not all of these things are going to impact your income tax returns.
And if this is still overwhelming, consider turning to a third party.
Companies like Cash App, maybe a TurboTax and H&R Block offer very affordable, even free in some cases, tax filing programs. And now they even offer sort of guided expert advice to walk you through the process and put you in a better position so you can spend your time doing other things than worrying or stressing about filing your taxes.
Nearly half of Gen Z and more than a third of millennials are unsure of the tax deadline. As a reminder, the date to file and pay your taxes is April 15th. In New York, Brian Yennis, Fox News.
Up next, if you can't get enough of dirty sodas, we have just the product for you. If you like those social media famous dirty sodas, making them at home just became a whole lot easier. And that's because Coffee Mate and Dr. Pepper are teaming up to create a new dirty soda creamer. According to the brands, you simply pour the coconut lime flavored creamer over a glass of Dr. Pepper for a classic dirty soda with no extra ingredients needed. If you aren't familiar with the trend, a dirty soda is a non-alcoholic drink made with soda, creamer, flavored syrups, and lime juice. Not really my cup of tea. 30 more minutes of news, weather, and sports is coming your way. Jasper County authorities say a person of interest in a fatal stabbing investigation is now in custody. Plus a push by the White House to crack down on credit card late fees. We'll see what that could mean for you.
You're watching the 4 states' most watched news.
This is KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. I'm Tanya Bach. Jasper County authorities say a person of interest in a fatal stabbing investigation is in custody, but the suspect is still on the loose. They've arrested Paul Phillips Jr. of Seneca, a person of interest in the stabbing death of Seth Langford. Authorities in Cherokee County, Kansas yesterday gave chase to a vehicle that went to a home in Jasper County, Missouri. They surrounded the property and eventually broke in with a battering ram. They didn't find anyone in that home, but later found Phillips at a nearby house. Now, authorities are still searching for Scott Burleson of Wyandotte, Oklahoma, the man who they've charged with second-degree murder in that case. A crash in Carthage, Missouri claims the life of a Nevada man. It happened this morning near I-49 and Central in Carthage. Police say 29-year-old Andrew Corriston left the roadway to the right and struck a traffic signal. His SUV then caught fire. Corriston died at the scene. 2 people were injured after a wreck in Ottawa County, Oklahoma, between a motorcycle and a pickup. It happened yesterday shortly before 6:30 p.m. near the intersection of Highway 59 and East 220 Road. And that's around 2 miles east of Afton. The motorcycle rider was airlifted to a hospital in Joplin with critical injuries. The driver of the pickup was taken to the hospital in Miami, but has since been released. The famous Route 66 is almost 100 years old. It'll hit the century mark in 2026, but the city of Joplin is looking ahead to the celebrations. They held a meeting today with the state's Route 66 Centennial Commission to discuss special events surrounding the festivities, including selfie signs and tour stops.
Commissioners throughout this 2-year time frame preparing for what kinds of activities can we have in communities like Joplin, like Springfield, where we have Route 66 running through our communities. So this is a commission that's getting out into those areas across the state to find out what are the best ways we can celebrate.
The group also established when and where they would be meeting in the future. President Joe Biden announced Tuesday he wants to cap credit card late fees as part of his broader push by his administration to eliminate junk fees. Jen Sullivan looks at what this would mean for credit card holders and what critics are saying about it.
Most Americans use credit cards for purchases, but if you don't pay your credit card bill on time, those late fees can add up, leaving you with a much heftier bill, which is why President Joe Biden wants to change that.
We have to crack down on corporate gouging.
Speaking on a Dallas radio show Tuesday, the president explained why federal regulators are capping credit card late fees at $8 per late payment. The average right now is about $32.
Right now, you're going to win, and as you bounce a check or you pay a late fee for your on your credit card, you're paying $35, $40, $50. I changed it to paying $3, $5 because corporations just ripping us off.
The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau estimates the new regulation will save individuals roughly $220 a year. So just how bad is credit card debt in the U.S.? Between October and December of 2023, credit card debt hit a high of $1.13 trillion, according to the Federal Reserve Bank of New York. LendingTree looked at more than 350,000 credit reports and found the average unpaid balance was $6,864 at the end of last year. Biden says the new rule will help struggling families with the high cost of living, but some critics disagree. The U.S. Chamber of Commerce slammed the new rule and vowed to fight it, saying, quote, the agency's final credit card late fee rule punishes Americans who pay their credit card bill on time by forcing them to pay for those who don't. For Consumer Watch, I'm Jen Sullivan.
Well, the new rule is on track to take effect in June. A bit later, if you hate going through TSA checkpoints, there's a new option that could speed things up a bit.
Well, of course, it's turned out to be a very active thunderstorm day. We had thunderstorms through the morning, and then severe weather has been popping up throughout the evening hours. It is March now. It's Severe Weather Awareness Week, and we're in severe weather season. So this was event number 1. We usually average 8 to 10 events. And when I say an event, that means that we have a day that we have severe thunderstorm or tornado warnings across the region. No severe thunderstorm warnings right now. We do have flash flood warning, Jasper, parts of Barton, Dade, Cedar County, due to very heavy amounts of rain. These thunderstorms have been kind of working through the exact same area. We don't right now, again, have anything severe, but we do have some very strong storms, so a very loud evening at this point in time. Heaviest storms really right along the Kansas-Oklahoma state line into southwestern Missouri along and north of the I-44 corridor, and then kind of curl up towards Springfield. So let's zoom in, take a little bit of a tour. Strongest storms just north of Mount Vernon. Let's track into Jasper County. So just north of Carthage, here's I-49, and then back through Oronogo, Webb City, into Carl Junction. And then over just south of Pittsburgh, another pretty strong cell just to the northwest of Columbus. We can track a little bit farther toward the west. Here's Oswego, all the way back through Lebec County into Montgomery County, Coffeyville, getting some pretty good showers and thunderstorms. Now, along and south of I-44, you haven't seen much. You will get some rain, showers and thunderstorms later on tonight. Look at these rainfall amounts. This does include this morning, but all this green is at least an inch of rain. Now, where you see the yellows, we're talking upwards of 3, 4, 5, 6 inches, which is why we have the flash flood warning in our eastern counties. Here's the front. You can see the wind kink line. It's actually right back through southeastern Kansas, and that's why those storms are in that exact spot. They're firing up right along the front. Showers and thunderstorms continue. We're going to stop at 1 a.m. I think our severe threat's gone at this point in time, but we are still going to have some strong thunderstorms working through, especially in our southern counties, the areas that haven't picked up any rain. Rain starts to track out, so here's Friday morning, and then on Friday we're just talking showers, a little bit of thunder, but nothing too strong or severe. Let's go into the afternoon. Rain picking up, especially in our southern counties as we track into Friday evening, and then all of this is gone by the time we get into Saturday morning. All these showers and thunderstorms will be out of the region. Additional rainfall amounts from this point on. A lot of areas are still going to pick up a quarter, half an inch, maybe upwards to an inch in some of those stronger storms. You can see this storm system. It tracks all the way down into parts of Oklahoma. Severe weather will press south and east tomorrow. Here's the upper level low right across parts of New Mexico, and behind it, we are going to get much cooler temperatures working in. Look at this. Saturday, highs only right around 50 degrees. And then as we go into Sunday, we warm back up near 60 for a high. Here's your day planner for your Friday. On and off showers, high temp, 58. As we get into the weekend, only 52 Saturday. Don't forget the clocks. They move forward 1 hour Saturday night, back to 62 Sunday, near 70 by Tuesday. Tanya?
Thanks, Doug. Coming up in sports, 3 more high school basketball state qualifiers from Kansas take the floor. Plus, the Joplin Outlaws announce a change in the direction of the team. John Dales has those stories and more up next.
Hey, welcome into another Thunder Thursday. As we flip the calendar to March, we're just a month away from the NBA playoffs. And the Thunder entered today tied for first place in the Western Conference with the Timberwolves. However, Minnesota beats the Pacers on the road tonight, which pulls it a half game in front of OKC. But OKC has been handling its own business very well. The Thunder are 8-2 in their last 10 times out. Your next chance to watch Oklahoma City on our airwaves is tomorrow night in the return of Thunder Friday nights. The Miami Heat visit Paycom Center, and you can watch it on Fox 14. Now, since their inception, the Joplin Outlaws have been led by General Manager Mark Raines. The team announces this morning that it's been sold, so in 2024, the Outlaws have a new ownership and will be playing in a new league.
We're acquiring the Joplin Outlaws and taking them from the Mink League into the Mid-America League.
2024 will be the first season of the Mid-America League. The Outlaws join 5 other teams from across Missouri, Arkansas, and Texas, playing a 68-game regular season, which means 12 more home contests with a new feel at Joe Becker Stadium.
When you come to a game, you're going to see really a AA or AAA atmosphere. So you're going to see the in-game promotions, a lot different ticketing type things. We'll have have the suites open. We'll have a picnic area, and we'll also we're looking at doing a kids area with inflatables.
With an improved ballpark experience, the Outlaws' new GM says there will also be an increase in the level of play on the field.
So we're really looking for higher competition that's going to be at Joe Becker. You're going to see some local kids as well. We've got about 5 to 8 Springfield, Joplin area kids. So when you come out, you're going to see some good competition and also some local guys that are trying to improve their skills.
Now 4 of the Mid-America League teams are from Texas, 1 from Arkansas. The season starts the week of May 20th. It concludes with the league championship the first week of August. Over to Columbia, Missouri. Liberal girls basketball concludes its playoff run this afternoon. The Lady Bulldogs play in the Class 1 third place game. At Mizzou Arena in Columbia, Liberal takes the floor as it plays for a third place trophy against Delta. Opening quarter, fight for the ball, and Abby Barton gets the rebound and the putback. She has 9 points in this game. Later in the half, Presley Holway goes up for the layup, gets her own miss, puts it back in. Delta leads by 15 at one point, but Liberal not going to give up. Still in the first, Taylor Swarns makes the tough layup. Now a few possessions later, Bailey Couch beats the buzzer with a three-pointer in the corner. Liberal makes it a 2-point game at the break. Into the fourth quarter, Swarns again driving to the rim, count the basket plus the foul. Bulldogs within 1 point, but Delta plays keep away the rest of the game, makes a couple of clutch free throws down the stretch. Liberal falls just short after a great effort. Delta beats them 61-57, but the Lady Bulldogs don't go home empty-handed. They finish fourth in state.
I'll always be indebted to these guys because I think I was in 5th grade when I dreamed about coming to the Final Four. And I didn't get it done as a player or as a manager, and then as a player. And I hadn't gotten to be here as a coach. And these guys brought me here. They let me live out my dream by bringing me here. So that's another level of endowment, that I'll never forget for them.
In Kansas, 3 more of our high school basketball teams compete in state quarterfinals today. We start in Class 4A boys. Fort Scott falls to McPherson 61-48. Bullpups, the #1 seed in the tournament. They have an undefeated record. Tigers gave them all they could handle. They finished the year 16-7. Boys Class 2A, Erie's postseason run ends this afternoon. Red Devils run into a buzzsaw known as Sacred Heart. They finish 74-35. They fall 74-35. Erie finishes with an 18-6 record. Then girls Class 3A, Girard loses a heartbreaker. Lady Trojans fall 32-30 to the two-time defending state champ Goodland. Lady Trojans held the lead for the majority of the second half, but the Cowboys win it on a three-pointer in the last minute. That's a look at sports. Back with more news after this.
Frequent flyers, listen up. Your time going through airport security could be dramatically reduced as TSA rolls out its first self-screening checkpoint lanes in the U.S. Fox News' Sean Langill checks out where the new machines are located, how they work, and more.
Let's face it, no one enjoys waiting in long lines to make it through airport security. But hope for a smoother travel experience could be on the horizon, with the Transportation Security Administration revealing its new self-screening checkpoint lanes.
Passengers are looking for something that they can complete the screening process on their own with minimal interaction with TSOs.
Currently, the systems are only available at Las Vegas's Harry Reid International Airport for TSA PreCheck customers who speak English. Officials are testing their effectiveness before potentially rolling them out at other airports nationwide.
We have an opportunity for the public to come through and to provide critical feedback on how the system performs, what it does well, what are some of the frustrations.
And while they look high-tech, the experience is designed to be pretty self-explanatory.
We don't want it to be intimidating, and the goal is to have each step be intuitive. So when they bring their bags into the carry-on bin, there's an opportunity for them to talk to a real officer if they need to. If they don't, that's fine. And then they move through the passenger screening system with those entry-exit doors.
When it comes to cleanliness, the machines automatically sanitize bins with ultraviolet light after every use. But for passengers concerned about privacy,
The cameras don't capture any biometrics, they don't capture any audio or video.
And as travel numbers continue rebounding since the COVID-19 pandemic, the self-screening lanes are expected to not only speed up security checks, but require fewer TSA officers to monitor them.
We're also looking at how can we reallocate officers to the busier aspects of the checkpoint.
Sean Lanchel, Fox News.
Well, coming up, we'll hear from a reporter in Australia who had to protect herself from a bird during a live shot. Instead of just reading headlines, her bosses say this reporter put her head on the line. Not that she had much choice when a bird started attacking her. Jeannie Moose explains.
Look at this.
Reporters are supposed to be able to wing it, but this was like something out of the birds. Okay, maybe not that extreme, but Australian reporter Ursula Hager was filing a report for 10 News First when she got dive-bombed over and over.
Involving a taxi fare on January the 30th last year in Twickenham, an area southwest of London. Now this allegedly
dive bombed 9 times. Her own station called it impeccable journalism, while her cameraman said,
That's the funniest thing.
Instead of doing this, Ursula did this.
Just stood there and took it.
At least she didn't get used as a landing strip by, say, a robin or a pet parrot.
One just landed on the umpire.
And Ursula didn't get her earbud plucked like this reporter in Chile.
Hoy en día se puede considerar.
Ironically, he was reporting on a rise in robberies. They did manage to get the earbud back from the parrot. The way Ursula handled the attack was a feather in her cap.
One of the most ridiculous moments of my life.
Could have been worse if she got pecked by a woodpecker.
Oh, wow. That's our time for tonight. Thanks for joining us. We're going to leave you with video of tiger cubs at a zoo in Italy. Have a great night and an even better tomorrow.